Hi, welcome back to NPA Teaching. In the last video, we discussed the concept of balance of payment and its components. In this video, we are focusing on the trends and problems of India's balance of payment. Most of the developing countries are facing or faced deficit in their balance of payment, and India being no exception. Since independence, India has been facing huge deficit or disequilibrium in terms of balance of payment due to its large size. This disequilibrium in India's balance of payment is mainly due to both internal as well as external factors. The requirements for development of such a big nation with a large population is one of the main factors resulted in recurring balance of payment problem in India. After independence, the primary challenge of the country was to attain economic growth with social justice and to achieve economically self-reliance. During this period, not only our technology but also the availability of food was on the backward stage. High level of imports of food grains and capital goods, external borrowings and poor exports led to large deficit in balance of payment. The former governor of RBI, Dr. Bimal Jalan, categorized trends of balance of payment into three sub-periods on the basis of two criteria as a measure of balance of payment problem in a particular year. These criteria are: first one is current account deficit and second one is foreign exchange reserves. The current account deficit of more than 1% of GDP and the foreign exchange reserve less than necessary to cover 3 months of import. And on the basis of this criteria, we have three sub-periods, and the period 1, which is starting from 1956 to 57 to 1975-76. The second period is starting from 1976-77 to 1979-80, and the third period is starting from 1980-81 to 1992-93. To the above three sub-periods, we are also going to discuss recent trends of balance of payment, that is the period from 1993-94 up to 2020-21. The period 1 comprised of the second, third and fourth plans and also include first 2 years of fifth plan. During this period, there was a heavy deficit in the balance of payment and extremely tight payments of positions. In the second 5-year plan, India laid emphasis on the development of heavy and basic industries as a part of second 5-year plan, which necessitated a large-scale imports of machinery and capital equipments. This resulted in increase of trade deficit and current account deficits. India experienced an outflow from official reserve account towards meeting balance of payment requirements. As a result, the foreign exchange reserves of the country declined sharply. See, during this period, country also witnessed three wars, that is wars in 1962 with China, 1965 with Pakistan and in 1971 with Pakistan again. That means there are three wars happened during this period. Severe drought of 1965-66 and 1966-67 and also the first oil shock in 1973. During this period, oil price increased from $2.5 to $11.65 per barrel. Thus, a high trade and current account deficit, debt obligations and also a sharp falling foreign exchange reserves led to the devaluation of rupee in 1966. The rupee was devaluated against the US dollar by 57.5%. Though after devaluation, government restored severe import control and foreign exchange regulations, India's current account deficit stood at 1.8% of the GDP and foreign exchange reserve was less than necessary to cover 3 months of import. The second period was started on 1976-77 to 1979-80. This period was relatively very short period and was considered as a golden period as far as the balance of payment is concerned. In this period, India had a small current account surplus of 0.6% of India's gross domestic product or GDP and also possessed the foreign exchange reserve equivalent to about 7 months country's imports. So the country had got a relatively a comfortable position on the balance of payment due to the rapid and large scale increase in the private remittance from oil exporting countries by skilled, unskilled and NRIs. There was also strong growth in export too due to conducive situations of world trade. The reduction of large price and production gap between domestic and foreign markets of gold and oil was also helped to strengthen the balance of payment in India during this period. Then again, there is another factor, that is foreign aid receipts were reasonably buoyant and India drew on various IMF facilities during this period. Because of these measures, India absorbed to first oil shock rather quickly and easily, and there was a surplus in 2 years of fifth five-year plan, that is 1976-77 and 1977-78 on current account. The fifth plan as a whole deficit was only rupee 1146 crores on the current account. But the second oil shocks of 1979-80 increased trade deficit again. The current account deficit was only rupees 234 crores in 1979-80, increased to rupee 1657 crores in 1980-81 due to large inflow of the invisible items. The third period, which was broadly comprised of 6th and 7th plan, that was 1980-81 to 1992-93, and was marked by again there is a severe balance of payment difficulties and problems in Indian economy. 6th plan more or less average above rupees 6,000 crores per annum as a balance of payment deficit. First 3 years of 7th plan averaged rupees 9,000 crores balance of payment deficit, while last 2 years of 7th plan, that means rupee 12,000 crore per annum as a balance of payment deficit, and in 1991 touched all tight high level of rupees, for example 16,934 crores in balance of payment, and the current account deficit was rupees 17,369 crores. See, during this period, the trade deficit was widened and gradual decline in net receipt from the invisible items. The reduction in inflow of concessional assistance from World Bank and the third oil shock during 1991 were chief reasons for the problems of balance of payment in India during this third period. Gulf War was also deteriorated the balance of payment situation due to decreasing remittances. The structural adjustment program, which was under the new economic policy of 1991, later liberalized the imports of capital goods, raw materials, intermediate and other goods. So it increases further imports, which led to current account deficit of 1.8% of GDP in 1992-93, which was higher than safe limit of 1%. Therefore, it should be remembered that during this period, particularly by June 1991, the level of foreign exchange reserves dropped so quickly that they were barely sufficient to finance the imports for the period of just 2 weeks. India found itself in its worst balance of payment crisis since independence. The inflow of foreign borrowing had increased at a rapid rate during the late 80s and 90s, and this was due to excess of domestic expenditure over the income of fiscal deficit of the central and state soared to over 11% in 1991. So during this period, the total public debt as a proportion of GNP doubled, reaching the level about 60%, and the foreign currency reserves were depleted rapidly. Now see what happened balance of payment of India after 1992-93. That means here we are going to discuss some recent trends of balance of payment of India from 1993 to 2010. So see, the reforms of 1990s have facilitated India to move away from the closed economy framework towards a more open and liberalized economy. Due to the liberalized foreign trade, deregulated industrialization, and there was a thrust on the globalization had made countries' balance of payment become much more stronger and having some improvement. So the foreign exchange reserves were built to very comfortable position, and the problems of balance of payment have come under the control. During 1993-94, there was a distinct improvement in the balance of payment position and a significant growth in export and falling international price of crude oil and slacks in the growth of non-petroleum oil lubricant imports resulted in a sharp contraction in trade deficit or balance of payment of a country. So the declining in the international interest rate was also provided as a measure of saving in the invisible account. The market determined exchange rate led strong growth in the remittance. So as a result of all these things, the current account deficit declined significantly. See, during this period, the current account deficit has come down from a level of 3.1% of India's gross domestic product or GDP in 1990-91 to the current account surplus of 0.3% of GDP in 2001-2002. See, the current account turned into a surplus in 2001-2002 after the gap of 23 years. That means it took almost 23 years to turn the balance of payment or current account into a surplus. And lastly, the current account surplus was recorded in 1977-78. So see, after a long period of time, the India's current account turned into a surplus in 2001-2002. The foreign exchange reserves were less than $1 billion in 1990-91, and see it increased to $100 billion as of December 2003. So the external debt to GDP ratio decreased from 28.7% in 1991 to only 20.1% in 2001-2002, and the debt service ratio also decreased. So see, over the period of time, the benefits of foreign trade were overlooked year after year. India's balance of payment has become quite strong, and the years of robust capital inflow led to accumulation of foreign exchange reserves which was sufficiently funded countries' imports. So in the last few years of India's current account deficit has narrowed to an average of almost 1.5% of India's GDP since financial year 2015-16, attributed to a fall in international oil price and not because of the competitiveness of India's export. So see, 2020-21, the recent trend, see, the COVID-19 pandemic has led to a sharp decline in global trade, lowered countries' price and tightened external financial conditions with varying implications for current account balances and currencies on different countries. Trade balance with China and US has improved as import was slowed due to COVID-19, while the exports of some of the items like gems and jewelry, engineering goods, textiles and allied product slides, exports of drugs and pharmacy, software and agricultural and allied products were improved during this period. At the same time, the imports of the commodities were declined. Overall, India is expected to witness a current account surplus during the current financial year. After the gap of 17 years, the foreign exchange reserves rose to an all-time high. That means almost $586.1 billion as of June 8th of 2021. I hope you got an idea about overall trends and problems of India's balance of payment starting from 1947 to 2020-21. In the next video, we will discuss what are the policy initiatives taken by the Government of India with regards to improving country's balance of payment and overall international trade. Have a nice day and see you in the next video. Thank you.